I think he did a more specific attack against me today, where he's like,
This is gonna break your brain.
oh boy. Okay.
One of the biggest YouTube dramas from the commentary sphere. And this is one that I like because Legal Eagle is plagiarizing her and trying to steal her editors. Anything else exciting happening, buddy?
Nope. Have you seen Nick Green trying to soy post his way through everything?
Oh, I did. Don't you worry. We will have we'll have a little conflict resolution on the way. Okay.
Oh my god.
We're preparing the missile. We're battening down the hatches.
My goodness.
It's coming, but
Has he
just need a
actually
little time.
suffered any blowback? Has he lost any subs? If I go check his social blade, or
No, he hasn't gotten any. The subreddit is all talking about it, and they're like upset. But
I saw that. But my question is, does he even have a subreddit, or is that just people from other subs going in and talking about it? Like, I don't know how active his subreddit was before all the drama.
I don't think it was super active. It's somewhat active now,
Yeah.
but yeah. No, I mean, basically, he's just not going to respond throughout all of it. He seems to have a level of like hubris and confidence about it. He also, I don't know if I sent you something else. He sneak dissed you in a video he did at the beginning of it. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm being attacked by the Reddit debate nerds right now." Like a day or two after our little stream.
Yeah, I think he did a more specific attack against me today, where he's like getting attacked by a certain community by a guy that doesn't want us to use the word cracker. So yeah, he's just like,
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, he said a certain Debate Bros fan base has their aims on me for a few weeks. They will move on to their next target in like a month. So this is the thing. He thinks that this is just going to go away. Like he's confident in that.
Unfortunately, it probably will, but
No.
not if Turkey Tom can help it. Whew.
Turkey Tom is going to save the day, okay? The same people who tried getting people banned for saying cracker. But the shocking thing to me is, like, first of all, that's a total misinterpretation. I don't think they wanted anyone banned for saying cracker. They just wanted an equal standard for slur usage, like if you use it in a racist way.
Yeah.
And also, crying about people trying to get him banned, his whole life is trying to get people banned.
Yep.
He tried to get Sneeko banned.
He did, arguably, yeah.
For what he claims is like sexual harassment or making some kind of threat and making it an unsafe place. What Sneeko said was out of pocket, but was that girl ever really at risk of anything happening? I would say no.
Probably not. Sneeko's video
but this is
wild, but
yeah, of course. I'm not going to defend that or say it's tasteful, but I don't think it was ban worthy, and that's not even what he was banned for. In the end, but Nick is just like totally, I don't know, he's just retarded. But
damn.
I think I don't think he's going to apologize or anything. I think if he did respond in any way, it would be a very, like, sort of, I guess I'm giving him the blueprint right now. He would say something to the effect of, like, well, the people who criticize me say the N-word. They're racist. They think that being a socialist is bad. Maybe he'd say that. I just believe my friend. I didn't do anything wrong. I was trying to do the right thing. He would say something to that effect, but I think that seeing the subreddit talk about it, seeing your subreddits talked about it, the super mega subreddits talked about it.
I think
it gives me hope.
The only way anything would actually happen is if he started to lose subs. That's going to be the only metric that matters. Or if people like stopped associating with him, but I don't see that ever happening. But the losing subs would be a big thing, I think.
As far as associations, unfortunately, the majority of associations are people who probably agree with his position. People like he's not going to lose Ethan or Lex as associations, but bigger channels, like there's this Curtis Connor dude who he's done collabs with. I would probably guess, I don't know a lot about Curtis Connor. I would guess that he probably agrees with what Nick says. He just doesn't do videos about allegations, really. He does like, today we're going to look at some TikToks. Like, that's like his thing. Sure. And the same goes for other channels he collabs with, like Danny Gonzalez. I don't think they would ever make a kind of statement about this kind of stuff. They don't really get into this stuff. I think they just saw him as like an up and coming commentary channel, did a collab with him, didn't think much of it.
Wait, my YouTube
yeah,
editor
definitely
is asking me to ask you about Illuminaughtii.
Oh, fuck!
Why? What's
God
that?
damn! You want to go down? You want to go down a hole?
Wait. Yeah, always. But wait, let me answer my door real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Hi, Destiny stream. Wait, I need to check the YouTube to see if I can be heard on the YouTube. Hold on. Oh, I can be heard. Yo, okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen in chat, guys, it's time to go crazy, okay? It's time to go crazy. Can we get some hashtag mail times in chat? Yo, what's up, man? Sorry, how's it going?
A hole. Yeah. What hole
A
are we
hole.
going down?
Okay. Oh my god. This is gonna break your brain.
Oh boy. Okay.
one of the biggest YouTube dramas from the commentary sphere. And this is one that I like because my favorite dramas are the ones where commentary channels end up getting shit on by other commentary channels.
All right.
I can't explain why. It makes me hard in a way that other dramas don't. But Illuminaughtii is a YouTuber. At her peak, I think she had 1.7 million subscribers. She is a video essay commentary channel that was posting videos every 2 or 3 days pretty frequently. Videos were half an hour long. They were highly edited. Like, they had a lot of production value going for them. She also had sort of a leftist bend to her whole thing, as far as calling out like worker exploitation and right-wing sort of lies and propaganda. Like, there's this really funny thumbnail she has. It says "Propaganda: How Police Bought the Media," and then in the thumbnail it has Paw Patrol, like the dog with the like the police outfit. I thought that was really fire.
FT Signifier is a guy, he really hates Paw Patrol, so yeah, I'm familiar with that. Go ahead.
Is that real? He doesn't like that?
In the last video he put, he's got like a whole like 30 seconds of like a Paw Patrol episode about how horrible like cop propaganda is, because it's
God,
yeah,
damn,
yeah,
bro. Thank God you donated to the cops or whatever. Support Paw Patrol, guys. Support Chase. Support Chase. But so she had a bunch of these videos. She was getting pretty big, and then she decided to poke the bear's nest, and she made one decision that basically unraveled her entire career. And it starts with an accusation of plagiarism. So there's a fellow YouTuber named Legal Eagle who's like a lawyer on YouTube. You've probably seen his videos.
I steal that guy's content all the time. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, as everyone in chat knows, okay, he goes at YouTube and these situations and, you know, celebrity stuff and politics from sort of a lawyer's perspective. So he'll get into the actual, you know, sections of the law and whatever that. And so Illuminaughtii decides to make an accusation that Legal Eagle is plagiarizing her and trying to steal her editors.
Okay.
This accusation comes from, she shows a few examples. One of them is like, if I had the visuals on hand, it would be so much funnier. But one of them is like a blue background with like a ripped white sheet on it. And she's saying that he like stole her editing technique from using that. Another one was like, he used like a highlighter effect on text, like, you know, white background, black text, and then like a yellow highlighter. It had like a 3D kind of effect on it. And she was like, you're stealing that from me. You're stealing these things from me. And then she has like a DM of like, one of his editors went in her Discord and was like, hey, I'm trying to learn how to do this effect. I can figure out how to do it on my own, but I was just hoping that, you know, one of Blair's editors could talk to me and I could just kind of learn the technique. And so she's saying like, he's stealing my stuff. And the examples she had were very blatantly like fucking just stupid examples. Like, they didn't really mean anything. They weren't plagiarism. The techniques were not exclusive to her channel.
Sure.
At all.
This is the future, by the way, that Pisco wants in my chat. He's a guy who wants this future. Sorry, go ahead, keep going.
What do you mean? What future does he want?
Stealing. But go ahead, keep going.
Okay, well, it was just a ridiculous accusation, and everybody saw right through that. And so in response, Legal Eagle decides to counter it. He's like, you know what? This is ridiculous. This is a silly accusation. You shouldn't be saying this for X, Y, Z reasons. He pretty accurately, I'd say, debunks it. Everyone takes his side. Everyone's like, Blair, Illuminaughtii. Blair is her name. You dumb bitch. This is stupid.
Oh, wait. Did he do this like in a video or like in a post or what?
This is all on Twitter. This all starts on Twitter.
Okay, it happens on Twitter. Okay.
And then it makes its way to YouTube later. But so that happens. And then people start going through Blair's videos.
Oh,
and
no.
H Bomber guy pulls up this old example of it was like one of her videos about Autism Speaks, and I wouldn't say she plagiarized from the clip he used. It would have looked like she plagiarized, but basically she was citing sources, and she would cite a source and show it for a few seconds and then cut to other footage and like slightly reword it. And it kind of came across as her not properly citing sources. I wouldn't say it was her plagiarizing, because she did cite all the sources in the description and you can easily see it, but it was sort of like maybe a miscommunication between editors and her that made it seem like she was kind of taking this person's content a little bit, right? But the clip on its own looked horrible, and I think even if she hadn't plagiarized, people wouldn't have felt bad for that accusation being made, because she had made an erroneous allegation about Legal Eagle. And so she ends up apologizing to Legal Eagle in DMs, and then all is kind of quiet. Okay, this is like what's that World War II thing, all quiet on the Eastern Front or some shit. Everything's quiet, eye of the storm type shit. And then one by one, a few YouTubers that she used to work with started making statements about her. One of them was from this dude who used to live with her, who's like, her house is disgusting. It's a fucking mess. She didn't pay me on time. She's a horrible person. this other guy named The Click, who has a big Reddit reading channel. There's so many characters, I realize. He's a Reddit reading channel, and he does furry art stuff. I don't know. He has
Did you
furry
make
stuff.
a video on this?
Yeah, I made a whole video if you want to watch it.
No, I think we have in the past because I think I kind of remember this. But yeah, keep going, go on.
Okay. Well, The Click makes a whole thread. His is much more substantive, but within that thread, he basically says that like they had a falling out, and after that, he starts hearing weird rumors about him that aren't true, and it seems like they're coming from her. And then he realizes that she's like paying people to go through old videos of his to find him saying the N-word 10 years ago to then post about it on alt accounts on like their subreddits to get him canceled. Like that's what this person's doing. That's what Blair is doing to him.
Okay.
And there's no proof at this point. There's like no proof for any of this. It's just people saying this. And so Blair, I think in her moment of hubris, her moment of overconfidence, I use that word a lot, holy shit. She decides to post a video called Illuminaughtii Exposed, where she goes over some of it. She leaves out a lot, but she makes probably one of the worst responses of all time. I think if she hadn't made this video, her career could have been saved. But she decides to make this video. Within it, she accuses, first of all, she claims that The Click had a pedophile in his Discord server that he did nothing about until she saved the day, basically, right?
Uh-huh.
So first there was that. Then she claims that this other person, Wonder, who had lived with her and said her house was a mess, she says that this person was like a horrible employee, and then she tells a story about how she gave him a car. She leased him like a BMW, and then he like had a suicidal breakdown and like ran away, and she shows his like suicide note, and people are like, you know, they see that as pretty shitty because it's like this private situation this guy didn't even bring up. Now she's bringing up his mental health and kind of using it to make him seem like an unreliable narrator because he had, you know, a suicidal episode. So this video gets made, and that is like the impetus for all this other shit coming out about her. The Click ends up making a video where he provably shows that Blair, after they had like a simple falling out over like a channel that just didn't work out, and she screamed at him, I don't even know why. They, like on this collab channel they had, he then he hears rumors about himself. He sees like people will post on this collab channel they had and in her Blair's comment section about him, and she'll delete positive comments and upvote negative ones or pin them. She was going around privately trying to find like proof of him like being a piece of shit or being racist or something, or she's going through his 10-year-old videos. There's this one DM. She's like, I'll give you $100 if you can find him saying the N-word in this old video. And it was like, it was even more than 10 years old. It was from like 2008. He was like, I think he was 12 or 13 at that point, playing Minecraft and playing Call of Duty. And she's trying to find him saying the F slur or the N-word, right? And then her goal is to get this. And then on an alt account, she was incessantly tweeting on Twitter and on Reddit at her own friends to expose their friend that she used to be friends with, who she now hates. It's like fucking crazy schizo. It's not even BPD. It's like just possessive, crazy fucking spiteful behavior. Like paying someone to find dirt on you, or paying someone to find dirt on your former friend who's a YouTuber of you like using slurs 10 years ago, and then posting that to subreddits to try and get it upvoted to get that person like inadvertently canceled.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, there's a bunch of other shit that happened with her specifically. I mean, there's videos you can react to if you want, but it's one of the more wild stories. And I think one of the crazier parts about it that pissed a lot of people off is that she had like kind of a leftist audience. She was friends with a lot of like, or friendly with leftist content creators. And so then it turns out that there's a bunch of stories about her like exploiting her workers or not paying them enough or being shitty to her contractors and employees. And people are like, well, how the fuck are you going to preach about, you know, worker rights and stuff like that when you're, you know, mistreating people that you employ? She's currently suing one of the people who used to work for her. I can't for the life of me remember what that's about, but it's just a whole rabbit hole, horrible, fucking crazy situation. She's still posting to this day. Her videos get 20 to 30K views on average. And keep in mind, she was getting, before this drama, like hundreds of thousands. So, it's pretty fair to say that she tanked her channel over this whole thing. Yeah, that's the big picture Illuminaughtii stuff, I guess, for whoever in chat asked for that.
Illuminaughtii YouTube. How do you spell this?
It's spelled a fucked up way. It's 2 I's on the beginning and 2 I's on the end.
What can I say? I never get tired of talking about that.
INAU. Okay. There you go, buddy. Yeah, I did do a video recapping the major stuff, but there's like other stuff that's happened since then that's made it even wilder.
8 million, 14 million, 14 million, 10, 9, 10, 8, 9, 7, 9 million, 9.7, then 2.8 million, then 1,720,000, 560,000. Holy shit.
Yeah. Is that the view counts of videos about her?
No, that's the view counts on her channel. I see where it died. Like, obviously this drama happened in, what, May of this year?
Yeah, pretty much, I think. Yeah, and then it absolutely fell off. And it's crazy because her content wasn't really about her personality. Like, it was relatively... Like, she wasn't really saying anything. She was just, like, recapping events from articles and stuff. It wasn't like her personality was, like, the focal point of it. But her channel just completely fucking died. I mean, and she's one of these content farm channels that... And she's got contractors. She's, you know, putting out video after video after video. She's, you know, undoubtedly making a pretty good amount of money off this. And I think she was running other channels as well. Like I said, she used to have like a collaborative like Reddit reading channel. The thing about her is she's like a lot of YouTubers, she's kind of shape-shifted over the years. But I think one of the bigger points of contention people had is her channel specifically was like built on calling out like dishonesty, like specifically like lies from companies. She went after a lot of multi-level marketing like schemes and stuff like that. And she would call a lot of them liars. And so, what? My camera's not on. No, you're good. I'm on Destiny stream, bitch.
Wait, no, I can see her. Tell her to put her towel on.
Okay, yeah, I'll shut the blanket. My camera's not on. I'll turn it on right now.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so
Sorry,
there was just like a lot of dishonesty being called out by her, and then people discovered that she was like lying through her teeth about a lot of shit.
Okay, I have a friend involved in all this. Tell me his role. Okay, I have a close friend called the Surfs TV. Supposedly he supported her. Is that true?
I don't know that he supported her. I think they had a podcast together. I think he did eventually drop her though. I think he did eventually drop her. But yeah, they had look, what was it called? Was it the Surf Times? Was that it?
Oh, I think I'm aware of this. Nice. Base. Get fucked. I hate that guy.
The Surfs? Yeah, he's just retarded. He's not even evil. He's just dumb. He's just low IQ. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Leftist Mafia's full... What is the Leftist Mafia? The Surf Times, the Leftist Mafia's full response on the Illuminaughtii cutting ties and addressing the situation. So it looks like there was some kind of response.
Good.
Damn, that's crazy. Wait, Xanderhall made a video about the Surfs, like calling them out for this, I guess. I mean, Xanderhall needs to eat a fucking sandwich. What the hell?
His girlfriend did crack. He might be doing it too. You never know.
That's rough, though. Have you seen what he looks like recently? Like, no intrinsic attributes here. This is out of concern and love, but...
No, I haven't. Let me check. Xanderhall.
He used to look a lot more full in the face, and now he looks sort of...
some big
ghoul-like.
conspiracy like
Are there any full screen camera shots? Oh, hold on.
basically what the video character
Yeah,
I forgot we finished the video. Well, that was god awful, which wasn't really
I mean, it's hard for me to
Unexpected.
say
Donate.
without seeing his body. Some people gain and lose weight from the face really fast, so it's hard to know. But maybe.
I think someone needs to
Trip.
donate to him, help him
So-
out.
Yeah.
Come on, Steve. You can help him out.
Have you done any
You
videos
help the
on
police?
that? True. Have you done any videos on that Eugenia Cooney person?
Eugenia Cooney? Like about the fact that she's anorexic?
And in denial and supports that lifestyle and probably promotes it to other people?
Yeah, I mean, it seems rough. Her family as well doesn't seem to be stopping it that much. I don't really know what you do about that situation, but yeah, it's definitely pretty dark. I ultimately, like, you can criticize her, but I just kind of feel bad for her because she's clearly sick. Like,
Yeah.
very, very, very sick. I mean, her body looks fucking horrific. Like, she needs help.
Yeah.
There's literally not one, like, some people will say, like, you know, what's your body fat percentage or whatever. There's no body fat or muscle, like, on her.
Yeah,
It's
that's
literally just
pretty
bones.
gross, yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you not just die in that situation? Like, does she just not eat? She must just not eat.
Well, I mean, she has to eat a little bit, but I mean, yeah, there is. Once your body fat gets so low for women, you stop having periods, your hormones are going to get fucked up, and that's among other health problems you run into. Like, at a certain low body fat percentage, you just die. Your brain needs a certain amount of fat to function and everything. So,
yeah, she probably is not going to be able to have kids even if she did recover somehow. There was a point a few years ago when she got really bad, not as bad as she was now, but she did get really bad, and she managed to recover a bit. Like, she did gain some weight. This was around the time that Shane Dawson did a video with her.
Jesus.
She did manage to gain a bit of the weight back. She was still clearly underweight, but it was like maybe 15, 20 pounds away from being healthy. Like, it could have been salvageable, but I mean, right now, does she even weigh like 60 pounds? Like, what the fuck?
Don't know. Yeah, she looks pretty rough.
What do you think about Shane Dawson?
Is that guy Onision, or is that a different person? They like both
Dude,
occupy the same space in my head, so I don't know if they're like similar at all. I have no idea.
I understand. You're like fucking old. Like, you should know this. Like, they're like old YouTubers. What the fuck were you doing in 2010?
Playing RuneScape, playing StarCraft, and carpet cleaning, and just getting into streaming.
What about like Smosh? You didn't know about Smosh?
Nope. I'm friends with Bose. She, I think, was in Smosh, but I didn't know any of these guys now. Back then, the content I would have consumed like way earlier would have been I was reading like Maddox's website, the best page in the universe. Some stuff on like Newgrounds, and like earlier than that would have been like E-Bomb's World. But I don't know if I don't know when YouTube came around. I don't think I was ever into like watching YouTubers or anything.
God damn, that's crazy, bro. Your life is crazy. Okay, well, fuck. Where to begin? Shane Dawson is like one of the oldest successful YouTubers on the platform. He came up in sort of the same era as Onision, which is probably why they occupy the same space in your head. Mm-hmm. It was kind of an era in which emo and alternative fashion was like sort of more popular. So you had a lot of channels that had like that kind of emo haircut. And
yeah, sure.
I wouldn't say that Shane was like a part of that. Like, he wasn't a part of the music scene or anything, but he did have that look to him. And so that's why back then he was associated with people like Onision. They even did collabs back in the day, I think, and went to VidCon, like the first VidCon, like 2009. I think they went there together.
Cute.
But Shane's like one of the oldest YouTubers on the platform. He did a ton of content, from vlogs to skits to everything in between. But for a little context, back in the day when YouTube was very raunchy, he would do a lot of skits with some interesting characters. One of them, I think, was called Shaniqua, and he would, dress up like sort of a stereotypical hood, hood lady. He also did blackface in old videos, stuff like that. And this was like 2008, 2011, maybe he was doing this, like sort of peak edginess on YouTube. And this was a time when, like, on the internet, I mean, I'm sure it happened sometimes, but it wasn't like a situation where people were like being racist, but like using humor to hide their beliefs. It was just like, they just thought it was funny. You know, they just thought it was funny back then. There was no political bend.
It was like, be the most racist, hateful, evil person you can, because it's just like so shocking, basically. Yeah, but people weren't actually like Nazis. Yeah.
No, and they came up off watching like MTV with like Andy Dick and Tom Green, so that kind of humor was just like what they looked up to. Jackass, Bam Margera. And so being crazy, zany, and wacky was just, they thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and there was no like political bend to it.
Sure.
But every few years, that stuff would come back to haunt Shane, and he'd have to make a new updated like apology video, where he would like go over his past transgressions. I don't think Shane was racist or anything to that effect. Or maybe if he was, I don't think it was in like a meaningful way where he would vote for like racist policy. I think he just thought it was funny. Truly. Sure. Yeah. But so that stuff comes up every few years. And then like 3-4 years ago, he got to a huge peak on YouTube. A huge peak. He was like, I want to say one of the most popular YouTubers in the world. He was getting 20 to 40 million views a video. And these videos he was doing where he started off doing like conspiracy content, and it wasn't like talking about Alex Jones stuff. It was like, what if McDonald's chicken nuggets are made of pink liquid that they put on the like that kind of shit, right?
Sure.
Like super just normie stuff. And then because he's so big, he starts doing these IRL documentaries where he visits controversial YouTubers. He had a really famous series on Jake Paul that was like 8 videos long. He had one on Tana Mojo and her whole TanaCon thing that was 3 or 4 videos long. He did a series on Jeffree Star that was like 6 videos long. And these videos all have like 10 to 30 to 40 million views. Like they're the biggest videos on fucking YouTube at the time. When they're coming out, they're a massive fucking event. Like what Content Cop was to edgy white kids was what these documentaries were to like gay people on Twitter. Like they were so fucking big. They were so big.
Okay.
But kind of at the peak of all of this, he starts being exposed for old stuff again. And it's not just racism this time. That's part of it, but part of it's also people are calling him a pedophile.
Yeah, that's what I know him for. I don't know if he like flirted with young girls or something, or I feel like in my head. I don't know if he actually did. That's just the space he occupies in my head.
So I can tell you what I think. I don't remember every single thing, but I can say like big picture what it was. One thing was back in the day when he was, I don't know, like 19, 20, something like that. And I'm not saying that excuses anything. I'm just saying it for sake of people knowing his age at the time. 2008 to 2011, he would go on like Omegle, and there would be like he'd type in like his own name, and then there'd be like a fan of him. Like, and a lot of them were young girls because that's a lot of the demographic of YouTube, young people. And he would be like, "Oh my God, you should like twerk," and they'd be like 13, and they would twerk because they thought it was funny.
Okay.
So that was one thing. Another thing was he went to a convention. I don't know if it was VidCon or one of those YouTube events, but he went there. This is around the same time, and there was like a 12 or 13-year-old fan that also went. They like, I think they asked him for a kiss, and he gave it to them like on the lips. I don't know if he knew their age, but that did happen. Another part of the reason why the cancellation was so big was because it involved giant celebrities. There was some old video of him like pretending to jerk off to how many of the Will Smith's kids are there? It's the I'm thinking there's like Jaden, and then the wife is Jada, and then I think there's like a younger girl or something, like they have a daughter or something, but there's like a poster of her, and he's like pretending to masturbate. He's like, "Oh, she's so hot, whatever, Will Smith's kid." And so that had been like 10 years old, but then this gets brought up again, and like I think Jada Smith herself, like Will Smith's wife, is tweeting about Shane Dawson saying he's a piece of shit. Damn. So that gets really big, and then there's this video by this big YouTuber named D'Angelo Wallace that I think covers everything. And it's like it's like the title is like a date, and then it says like the day Shane Dawson ruined his career.
Okay.
And it goes over all the racism stuff. It goes over the pedophilia accusations. It goes over all of that, and then basically the kind of conclusion is like Shane is a piece of shit. Fuck him. And so he kind of just leaves YouTube. He just dips. He does make one response video where he goes over all of it, and he's like, "This is just all old stuff I did in my past. I wasn't doing it to like hurt anyone. I wasn't doing it with any serious intention. I just, I had like a sort of mentality back then of just being edgy's funny no matter what the subject. It's hard to totally speculate on his intentions. I definitely say in regards to the child, stuff that does really rub me the wrong way, but I haven't seen any evidence that he's actually attracted to a child.
Sure.
So that's
and it feels like without knowing him and without knowing anything, like in my opinion, if somebody like that has a predilection towards children, especially being an online influencer, everything, you're probably going to get some pretty somebody's going to come out because he's going to have flirted with somebody, fucked somebody, traded nudes with a minor or something. Like usually something like that would come out, but
yeah, that's what you would think, but keep in mind, this is once again maybe chat's mulling at me. I'm not looking at it right now, but there are probably other little things I've left out, but this is just big picture. So he leaves YouTube pretty much. He's made a few videos since then, but he was making a video like every week or two back then, and they were getting crazy views. Now his channel has gone from getting like 20 to 30 million views to like when he posts he might get 3 or 4, which is not bad, but it's not that good. And he's now like the most recent thing, he went on Steve O's podcast, which is a podcast that he does inside of a van. And he went on that podcast, and he actually talked about the cancellation a little bit, and he just seems like a fucking nervous wreck during the entire thing.
Okay.
Just totally like disheveled. He's sweating. He's
how do you get just curious, how do you get canceled when you're a YouTuber? Like, did his fans start unsubbing? Because it's not like he has sponsors or anything that he needs to.
Well, I mean, part of it, to be honest, is kind of canceling yourself. Like, he stopped posting.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as being canceled when you're a YouTuber, like, I think he did lose some subscribers. Let me actually check. Because I think he lost like 1 mil, maybe, honestly.
Oof.
Let's see here. So it looks like back. I can't see. I don't know how old Social Blade is, but it looks like for the past. Let's see here. Ever since January of 2021, actually even before that, ever since October 2020, he's been losing about 100 to 200,000 subs a month.
Yikes. Okay.
Now, part of that's probably from not posting, but he didn't really stand up and defend himself very well. You know, he didn't make a. I don't know. With these false accusations, it's like I understand like the sort of fear that comes with it. It must be not saying that these accusations were false, but if he believes they were, okay, I understand sort of the fear that comes with that. But I feel like if you really think you're being falsely accused, you'd be like indignant and fucking like I'd be so livid if I was falsely accused. Like I'd be so fucking mad. I'd be so mad, and but I don't know. Maybe some people just don't have that.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. The only thing I can think of, maybe, is that there is a false accusation, but like there's an element of truth to it, and that would be like he can't touch it. So like here's something I could totally imagine would happen to like especially if he started YouTubing so long ago, that like a bunch of people accuse him of being a pedophile, and he's never traded nudes or anything like that, but maybe when he was like 20, maybe he did like sexed with a 15-year-old, or maybe he like did flirt with some girl like that, and he's really scared that if he comes out and defends himself, like something like that would leak, maybe. But that obviously that's like a reaching assumption, but yeah, that'd be because otherwise I don't know why if somebody like when people accuse me of shit, it's like, okay, well, time to write some manifestos because none of this shit happened. That's usually my feeling, because I would never stand on bullshit that I don't think is true. But yeah,
I think that yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think that I think that if that had happened with him, that would have come out probably, just because of how high profile he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, generally with people that big, like for the Me Too people, sometimes you'll get a guy that gets Me Too'd by 2 girls on bad dates, and it's like, okay. And then other times you'll get Me Too'd by 1 girl, and then like 5 more come out, and then like 15 more come out, and it's like, okay, this guy's probably up to no good, right? But yeah, when you're that prolific as a YouTuber with that much access to a young audience, I feel like some shit is gonna happen, or something would come out of something that happened. That'd be my feeling.
Yeah, it's to the point where this probably comes across like I'm feeling bad for Shane. I don't really that much, but him and his husband adopted like a kid not that long ago. Actually, I think they did surrogacy. I think they did a surrogacy, and they like tweeted it out, and like a tweet that ratioed them to the factor of like 5 times and was like super. It had like 200,000 likes. It was like, it's crazy they let a pedophile adopt kids or something.
Jesus.
So this is like a prevailing narrative that this guy's like fucking evil or something like that. But yeah, I haven't even seen the whole D'Angelo Wallace video. I only know like big picture from what I've gathered from other people talking about that video. But yeah, it is kind of like I can't remember who said this. Maybe Keemstar said it, but something to the effect of like, you can only truly be canceled if you let yourself be canceled. Like, I feel like for most people,
in the YouTube
unless you get
sphere,
deleted off YouTube, you can just like keep posting.
Yeah.
And if you post good content, people will watch.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's necessarily a force for good or evil. It can be a force for good, where someone who's falsely accused can post through it and eventually come out. Or it can be a force for bad, where someone who's actually a fucking piece of shit can still post and be fine. But, you know, bottom line, if you get, you know, quote unquote canceled, as long as you're not deleted, you can still post.
Yeah. The only exception is like in the esports world or stuff like that. You can actually, like, if you start losing sponsors and getting kicked off teams, then you're kind of fucked. But yeah.
But even if that happens, I mean, if you can force yourself to be entertaining, you go on live stream, you know, you can get big that way, right?
Yeah, but now you're career transitioning. You're no longer a professional gamer. Now you've got to be an entertainer or YouTuber or whatever, right?
That's true. But I guess, I don't know, there's a way. Is all I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
there's usually a way. There's usually a way to salvage things, to get some hope. Light at the end of the tunnel.